Thanks, family, friends, and survivors. That looks a little better. I had to find an 8-inch wide so I could rip a bevel on the top of it, replacing the fascia. I would have needed a 20 to make it all in one piece. And I could have grabbed a fresh log and cut a 20, but it didn't make sense to open up a good log just for one board. So better leave the logs down in the sprinklers down by the pond and stay fresh. And cut more than one board. So this one was dry up in storage. It was dry fir, and I had another short piece. I was able to rip the edge down with a skill saw and a rip gauge. And I brought some 2x6 down to change the rafters out, but I don't think it's really needed. The rafters, when the tree fell, it broke right over the wall, and the rafters broke on this side, so the integrity of the rafter on over the kitchen is still good. It just cracked these. So you see where it broke the plywood right there. So it's spanning from all of these. A fir fascia is supporting this rafter tails, so it'll never be a problem. I'll probably put a block across where that break is on the plywood. And these braces here were just temporary to hold it up. I had to jack the rafter tails up with a 2x4 and a bottle jack. Well, actually, I'm up there sighting it on the ladder, and my wife is running the jack. We did it together. Took all day, but it's good enough for a while. We're going to re-roof this house and put metal on it someday anyway, and at that time I'll strip this. I won't. I'm not going to do any of it. I'll have it stripped, and then we'll repair the rafter tails at that point and put a new piece of plywood in there. But we'll have a good 2-inch overhang and use lock seam metal roofing. And no, I would never use a rain catchment system because we just have so much water available here from our springs. My neighbor, he's got it's actually my old house that we sold him 20 some years ago. He's a 2,400 square foot house. It's all lock seam metal roofing, and he's got a rain catchment and a cistern on his. But that house didn't have really good water. And he has a whole house generator. He's on the grid. He has a whole house generator. Huge, 26 kilowatt and a 1,000 gallon propane tank. So he chose to go that way. And so he's good. If things go south, we'll just keep using our springs and go from there. We never did put anything on the siding. That's just what sugar pine looks like when it ages. You could see the upper roof on my office. I haven't put bats on it yet. You could see it's a different color because that's ponderosa pine. And you can see the addition on the kitchen when we added the pantry, that color change there. Ponderosa pine does that, but the sugar pine is the nice pretty red color. But there is a way to age the board, and my wife has a solution that she mixes up that's Lipton tea bags, vinegar, and steel wool, 4/0 steel wool. And the vinegar breaks the steel wool down and turns into rust. That with a tea color, that'll turn that fascia board the same color as the other fascia board, and it'll look aged. It oxidizes the wood. So there's a lot of ways to do it. You saw what I did up at the shop. We sprayed a mixture of water and baking soda and put it in a Hudson sprayer and sprayed it on all that fresh pine, and it just aged it in 2 days. It looked like it was 10 years old, which is cool. So you see my wife's beauty salon over there, that whole wall, that's all ponderosa pine, and it turns that dark gray, and that's cool. But my favorite is the sugar pine, and if I had enough of that sugar pine, I would have built everything in sugar pine, because I think that's just the ultimate color right there. You see, this board has never had any sealer or oil or anything. It's 24, 25 years old, and look at this right underneath. Right underneath the surface, this brand new, bright, beautiful wood in there. So it oxidized the surface. Well, when I was a dry kiln manager for Rough and Ready Lumber Company, they required me to read a U.S. forestry book for kiln drying lumber. That and another book by Dr. So-and-so, required reading for dry kiln operators. And in that book it says that sugar pine split into shingles used for roofing in the Pacific Northwest outlasts western red cedar 2-to-1. Now go figure. Everybody figures, you know, cedar shakes and cedar shingles. We've been doing that for years. When I was actually as a foreman for Rootsville Construction in Lake Arrowhead, California, and we put in 1 3/4 inch jumbo shake on those houses. And to think that sugar pine outlasts at 2-to-1 untreated, that's an amazing wood. Sugar pine, I'm in love with it, you can tell. All right, enough about boards. I'm gonna have to go and see if I can find some. I think I had half a bundle of that red colored roofing, and I'll probably, it'll look bad because it won't be because that color, because it's bleached out. But I'll change 10 or 15 of them in there, and build a new pyramid up in there and change all that bad stuff out, and then put a new L metal on it. All right. Beautiful blue sky. Hope you guys are having a blessed day.